I'm Mike Sullivan. Okay, let's talk about hitting your driver or your T-ball longer and straighter. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about equipment, something you can do to help you get in the right equipment. We're also going to talk a little bit about something you can do in your golf swing to be more efficient to hit better drives. This is going to be short and sweet. A couple things you can do to hit your driver better. All right. By the way, did you know that most men actually hit their 3-wood longer than they hit their driver? And that's because most men don't have enough ball speed for that low lofted driver. So the best thing you can possibly do to help you get more distance, or to get the right club to help you get more distance, is to get fit for the right driver. All right. What's interesting is this driver here is 10.5 degrees of loft. This is my driver. I do have it set up because of the way that the hosel is here. I've got an adjustable hosel where I can change the loft on the club. It is a little bit stronger lofted. My club head speed is, you know, if I swing it right, it's a little over 105. And I have found through trial and error that I actually do better with an extra stiff shaft as opposed to a stiff shaft. And my club head speed, you'd usually end up in about a stiff, which is why it's so good to get fit, so you can try different clubs with a professional, and they can help you get the right combination of shaft and loft, as well as club head, like manufacturer, to get the most distance and to be the most consistent. All right. So we're filming this right now during the whole COVID-19 thing, and it is hard for some people to get out and get fitted. So what's the next best option? The next best option is to be able to actually try the clubs out before you buy them and try them on the golf course. And that's always been tricky, because when you buy a club and then you use it, it's now a used club. So we've been looking around a little bit for a solution, and we came across something through Globalgolf. It's called UTRY, where you can basically pay $25 to borrow a brand new driver, and if you like it, you keep it. You pay for it, and then the $25 comes off the price of the club. You can do it all online, and you can try multiple clubs that way to make sure you get a driver that you really like. So as far as equipment goes, without getting too specific, option 1 is get fit. Option 2 is to check out that UTRY thing through Globalgolf, and they're going to be able to help you try different clubs to make sure you really like what you end up with. By the way, on that, I know some people who they get fit for a driver. It's supposed to be the right driver, and they get on the golf course with it and they never really like it. So that's another reason why you can use that UTRY thing. So I've actually got a link for it in the description of this video, and if you visit the link, I sound like I'm doing an infomercial. If you visit the link, I get a little bit of a commission if you end up going with something through Globalgolf, so we'd appreciate that. Okay, so there's our club portion here. Basically get fit for the right club. Now let's talk about something that you can do to help you out with your overall efficiency and your club head speed. We're talking width of arc. Here's what width of arc means. Have you ever heard that old golf tip to try to keep your left arm straight? Now obviously if you're right-handed, you're left-handed to be your right arm, but they want people to say you want to keep that arm straight, and I hate saying that because when someone tries to keep their arm straight, they get stiff and they get rigid. What I would say is we'd like to have a lot of width of arc in our swing. So we'd like to have a lot of width. So what that means is when I set up here, I'm going to turn my shoulders and make sure I can get my shoulders turning and my back turned to the target. And then you can see if I add the club here and a little centripetal force, a little momentum, I get that extension, what people would call a straight left arm. But really what it is it's good width and it's good extension away from your body. One of the problems that people have is instead of extending like that, instead of turning like that, they just pick the club up when they make their backswing. And when you pick it up, you're now really narrow. And what happens is you start that downswing, you then get wider and you dump the club and you lose club head speed, add loft, all that stuff. So if you're not really pounding that driver the way you think you should, you need to look into this, okay? So how do you know if you're doing this right? So this is where the Perfect Motion app comes in. I know it's totally sounding like an infomercial, isn't it? But these tools can help you, okay? So if you go ahead and download Perfect Motion to your phone, one of the faults that comes up for people is called arms lifted in the backswing. So I've already got the app on my phone, and all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna move this so that you can see everything, but I can put a range basket in front of me, set my phone down in front of me, and I can practice with my phone looking at me throughout my practice session. And what happens is that phone is the camera on the phone watches what I do in my swing, and then through AI, it helps us figure out what is the perfect swing for me. So if you're using your Perfect Motion app and you're getting arms lifted in your backswing, what's happening is you're not getting this part of your body back there. All right, so here's the key. Practice this with your Perfect Motion app without even hitting a ball at first. You can go into no ball mode, put the club up across your chest, get your secondary spine tilt, and you're gonna go back and through. All right, and what's gonna happen is the phone's gonna go and check. It's gonna see what you're doing with your sternum and with your torso in your backswing and on your follow through, and it's gonna let you know how you're doing on that. And it'll let you know if you would have had an arms lifted or not. So if you went ahead and made a swing like this, it very well could say that you were lifting your arms because it's the same type of motion that we make with our chest. All right, so we've used our app. Let me get this out of the way. We've used our Perfect Motion app. We've got the good secondary spine tilt, and I'm used to turning my shoulders as opposed to lifting my arms. So basically what I'm telling you is if you use that app, and as a matter of fact, if you download the app, you can select me as your instructor. I can see your motion maps, and I can go ahead into the app, make an adjustment for you to help you get like a customized practice routine. It's pretty good. So here we are, tilted back. I'm gonna make sure I get my shoulders turning in my backswing, nice and smooth. Solid little cut. Boy, earlier I was hitting them right down the middle before I got all mic'd up. Okay, so if you want to hit your driver straighter and longer, one is you got to have the right equipment, and two is we want to have a nice turn in our backswing. We don't want to lift those arms. I hope that helps. I'll see you next time. Michael, yep. How you doing?
Good.
Oh, I'm late, I'm sorry.
I was rushing. Clean. Come on, you got one more. Oh. Travis, one more. So you're a good athlete, aren't you? Good hand-eye coordination.